Okay, so Google Sheet is very powerful in terms of using it online as an online software, and you have flexibility to extend its feature immensely using script editor. The language used in a script editor is app script. So app script is getting very popular among the Google what is called APIs and Google tools like Docs, Sheets and Forms, because they are similar to JavaScript. It's almost similar. All the features of JavaScript are there, but not extensively the complex one. Simple JavaScript operation can be performed very easily. So you see in front of you is a AppScript file code.js. Google script is used, .js is used for the Google AppScript file, and using this you can also create AppScript, and which can be deployed online, and so that you don't need to actually host in different what is called hosting provider. Instead you have everything in your Google account. It can be either normal Google account or with the domain name. So with the domain name you have more options, but yes, if you have simple Google account, that also can be used. So in this video I will be telling you what is Google Sheet ID. The Google Sheet ID is a unique identifier for the Google Sheet. This is the URL of Google Sheet. So every time you create a Google Sheet, you will have a link like this. So edit is, that means I am the editor of this script, or the owner of the script, editing permission, and this portion is the Google Sheet ID. So here is the Google documents for that, and it has mentioned that this portion can be extracted using regular expression like this. And then sheet ID, you will have sheet ID like GID equal to 0, and then this is another Google Sheet ID, and this is another sheet ID. So you can work on Google Sheet using sheet ID or name or index through the programming. And for the spreadsheet, you can work with the URL or ID. Both ways possible. So I have a function that's actually taking URL, this one, getSS spreadsheet. SS, this is you have to call spreadsheet app because it is mandatory. If you see here, reading, writing any aspect of spreadsheets collection is required. So I don't want to read through all this boring stuff, but spreadsheet I'll leave it, it's not necessary right now, but yes, to get to work with the spreadsheet, first you create a function like this, and then instead of calling this line openByUrl every time in your different function, you can simply call ss equal to getSS. So you have one function where you can actually use this URL one time, and that's a huge benefit because you don't have to change the URL wherever your function, like for example I have this function, right? If I use this line, if I want to open this file and work on it, edit or read or write. I have to get the ID or the spreadsheet right. So if I use repeatedly everywhere, I copy this and paste it here. So you got two URL. So when you deliver the project, you have to actually change everywhere after you are done with the testing spreadsheet. So that's not actually practical. Instead, you create a function like this, return spreadsheet, use simple equation ss equal to getSS assignment. It's actually much better if we can actually do something like, where ss equal to getSS, and then you even don't have to call this. It's a global variable. It's become global. It's outside of all the function. It's simply use ss. We can comment it out, and still you get this thing. So function draw. Let me run this function, and I want to log this. So you see the function is running and it's getting the value, right? So how you are getting, because this is now a global variable, and I think this is the best way you can do to minimize the call on this function again and again in your different function. Thank you for watching this, and I hope it was beneficial for some of you. If so, then please like my video, share it, comment it. If you like more videos from me like this simplified version, then let me know in the comment box.